Alright, so hello! I'm excited. This is going to be a really good demonstration. So we're here going to be doing a demonstration on pain. And this pain is a result of an injury. So you can also remember, you can go check out my YouTube channel. There are quite a few videos that I made where I talk also about pain that you can go investigate as well. So this specific one is now with an injury that you had on your left shoulder or left arm. Yeah, got it. So, perfect. So left arm, upper arm injury. So you said this happened 2 years ago? Give us an overview of the injury again.
So last summer, I think it was June or July, I went wakeboarding with my friends.
Yeah.
So that's why you hold on to this handle and you're on the board.
Right.
And you're being like dragged across the water. And then when there was a turn, it really pulled me really strongly to the left. And that's when I think it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And there was so much adrenaline that I did not feel it in that moment. I think I also fell in the water. I was like, it was very sudden. But after I got out of the water, I started feeling sharp pain.
Mm-hmm. So where exactly, specifically, do you feel the pain right now?
It's like here. I feel like it's also connected there. Like there's like a muscle that comes across. Yeah.
Right. So it could even be that the being jerked and pulled so hard was like she's starting from here upper in the neck area.
Yeah.
Right. And the arm could also then be secondary. Right. Meaning the first injury point could have been from up here in the neck area was as well. Got it. And so it's interesting. So the pain happened in the moment where you were actually having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was a positive day.
Yeah, I was actually happy to be there.
Got it. So I'm curious now. Mm-hmm. Let's also have a look at, let's skip the day where you had that injury. Let's backtrack maybe a week before. How was your life at that point? Like, perhaps, what were you doing? How were you feeling? What was life like for you?
Last summer, so I was recovering from a breakup with my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That was very heartbreaking for me. So I was not doing much. I couldn't work. I couldn't do much. I was staying
really
with
upset.
my friend.
Yeah.
I was upset.
It's almost like you were grieving at that point. Yeah. Okay. So apart from the grief that you felt during that time, were there any other negative emotions? Of course, breakup is we all can relate. We've all had someone very dear and near to us and it didn't work out. So of course there's sadness, there's grief. What other emotions did you feel there during that time that you can perhaps recall?
Powerless, for sure. I felt completely powerless to the situation, and also I felt it like a betrayal. The betrayal is like something that I was down to. So I couldn't believe that it happened, and I could not have enough strength to get over it, to accept it. Yes, it happened.
Got it. How did that betrayal make you feel during that time, apart from powerless?
So shock at first, and then powerless, helpless. There is no point to move, to do anything anymore.
Powerless, helpless, hopeless.
Also lost my direction because I put too much of my hopes into that. I thought that was it, and then when I lost that, I didn't know
what to do.
What's the point?
And how did? That's it. what's the point? How did that make you feel apart from feeling confused? You're doing great, this is perfect.
Like I lost the point of living.
Got it. So it's like you lost sense of purpose at that point.
Yeah.
Loss of purpose, perfect. So that I acknowledge that's a symptom, but that's quite important. Perfect. And you said betrayal as well.
I felt it like a betrayal.
Got it. Okay. And so now let's fast track again a little bit forward. Now you had the injury, and let's say a month after the injury, and let's like fast track over a 4-week period. More or less, what was your emotional journey during that month? Like straight after the injury.
So after the injury, I tried to do, I couldn't do much physically, so all I was doing, I was trying to gather my energy and try to get any resources that I possibly could, which is my friends in this case, and moving to London, where I have support to like gather, like drops by drop, trying to gather what I have and recollect myself to heal.
Support. So there was lack of support, so you created big changes to find the support that you needed. Okay. What else?
Trying to find a new direction, like doing different things that are out of my character, just to experiment and see that if not that, then what else can I do?
Do you feel you did that to distract yourself from the emotional stress that you were feeling?
Maybe also.
It's just a question, I'm not saying that's what you did, I just want to explore perhaps, different reasons.
Also to cope with it.
Got it. Okay.
Mostly gathering strength to go back into that to heal.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm just curious. I can't help but feel, I just don't know why, but this is one of those really funny moments where you sometimes doubt yourself and you're sitting and you're thinking, should I, right? And I keep telling you, just ask, if there's something that you feel, explore with the client, because the client is your soundboard. I'm just curious, how do you feel when you really have fun in your life, when you really just embrace a moment of joy and fun? Like, do you feel like you can really take it in?
No.
Because the moment you sat down and you were actually sitting there and you were talking about the injury, and you were having such a great time, I'm like, Tell me about that.
So I do feel like even when we have clear exercises about the jobs, everybody's laughing, I feel like crying that moment. So
did you feel like, did you have this feeling, exactly what you described right now, before the breakup? Did you already have that association with happiness before the breakup?
Like I always had it my whole life. Like I'm not allowed to have fun completely, like everybody does.
How does it make you feel when you really have fun doing it? You're laughing, but how do you really feel inside?
I feel sadness.
Perfect. What else?
And disconnect.
Disconnect.
I cannot connect.
Disconnect. And how does it make you feel when you feel disconnected?
Lonely.
Lonely. Perfect. Just curious, maybe if you don't remember, that's okay. We're not too worried about the actual memory of it, because the emotions is going to take us exactly where we need to go. Just curious, is there a moment that you can remember in the past when you were really, really happy and maybe something bad happened, or maybe someone reacted a certain way?
Yes, I do remember that whenever I did something I really enjoyed, my parents, mostly my mom, I think, she did not. I do not remember one particular moment, but I remember a series of. So whenever I would go for something and I laugh, she would remind me about how life is hard and life cannot be. It's not just fun and jolly. You have to work hard, and all the ancestors worked hard. All these words just for you to be here, and you don't take it seriously. Like that kind of lessons.
Perfect. I'm glad I trusted my intuition. And so now the point is, look at this negative association with something so beautiful, such as happiness. Right? Yes, the injury took place during a very emotionally traumatic time for her, but there was a build-up of that. The breakup was just an aspect to this pattern playing out. Now, the subconscious layering in of when I'm happy, I feel guilt. When I'm happy, I feel numb. When I'm happy, I feel disconnect. These are just examples. I'm not saying that's what she's feeling, but this is the hypothetical now that you're looking at. Right? So when she was having fun and she hurt her shoulder, she was really, going out doing something super adventurous just to power through how she was feeling, but also doing something quite high risk to completely dissociate from the potential of feeling unhappy, feeling happy. So she pushed herself beyond her own limitation and comfort zone to escape that. And she probably did that completely subconsciously, not consciously. Interesting. Okay, this is going good so far. Very good. And another aspect that I wanted to mention here as well, what she was now being faced with is, this is the classic example of what I would call the crayfish in the pot syndrome. When I lived in Namibia, my dad used to catch a lot of crayfish in the ocean and then come back and he'll put them in this big pot boiling, and I'm like crying because they're still alive, you can't do that. And one crayfish will try to climb out and then all the others will actually come and pull it back. Instead of thinking, oh, I can climb over you to get out, they actually pull it back in. And that's like that consciousness almost like of suffering together. I know that's not necessarily what the crayfish are thinking, but it's just a really interesting metaphor for me to look at the human consciousness in that aspect. If one person in the family is upset, everyone suffers there with them, because how dare you, invalidate their pain by showing happiness when they can't feel that. It's a complete disrespect. So now you feel responsible for someone else's happiness. Now you feel responsible for how the family as a collective unit feel. So your need for happiness is now also met with guilt, met with disconnect. But then because there's a part of her that's so strongly associated with happiness and the negative reaction that she feels, that her threshold for coping and dealing with the guilt of that has now numbed to the point where she's just disconnected. So disconnection is also a symptom, but you can still work with just that and still nail the session really well. I'm just breaking it down for you to see and understand how the psyche and how we store and hold memories and trauma can be helped. Very good. Interesting. I'm very excited for this. So I just want to double check here. So most perfect. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Can you just write there, Mom? Oh, it's there. Fantastic. Got it. Got it. So let's just do one more thing. One more thing. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna pretend we're gonna have fun.
Which I don't like that much.
I know, right? Let's pretend. Let's just pretend. Take the fun word out of it. Let's just pretend for now. Okay, so I would like you now, and I'm gonna do this with you. And let's talk to this muscle that runs up from the neck down into the shoulder point and then connect it down to another muscle in the arm. Let's just connect to that whole part. Let's have a chat with it. Let's have a pep talk with it. And let's just ask it. Let's give it a voice, and let's just kind of see, what does it feel in that moment?
It feels very annoyed or frustrated. It had enough. It's like it's very. It wants to show me something. It feels like it's been showing me something for a long time, and I didn't hear. So it's like it doesn't even know what to do anymore to get my attention.
Question. Before the breakup, did you suspect anything?
Yeah.
But you didn't want to believe it?
Yeah. Even going into the relationship, my whole body was screaming, no, this is not. But I went because subconsciously I thought, okay, this is the right thing. Yeah.
Anger and regret for perhaps not also listening. And that frustration there with that. Okay. So frustration, how did you feel before you felt the frustration? That annoyance, frustration, how did you feel before that?
You mean my shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
I felt strain, so in building up to that it was pain. Like being twisted and then something uncomfortable. I'm twisted in a way I shouldn't be twisted.
Did the relationship also ask you perhaps to change in ways that wasn't in alignment with you?
Yeah, for sure.
And how did that make you feel?
Well, I was numbing it out, but I felt I resisted it and I didn't want to change.
Resistance. Perfect. Dorina, you're exactly where you need to be. What I would like you to do now is just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Okay. I would like you to just here with me, just think back to that moment, you know, when you injured the shoulder and you felt the pain coming, that moment when you felt the pain coming back, realizing, wow, okay, this is maybe more serious than what you thought. What did you emotionally need in that moment? What positive need did you need in that moment?
I needed support for sure. I needed something more gentle, not something like wakeboarding. Something like a cocoon, something like to be honest, like a couch somewhere, something like a mother's energy.
Nurture. Okay, so she mentioned two, so I'm going to go with those two because it feels like it's really important for her. So it's support and needing comfort. Is it comfort or nurturing? Which word do you relate to best?
Nurturing.
Nurturing. Got it. Stay right there for me. So when you are aware of this part of you that needed that support, that needed that nurturing, that felt the disconnect, the betrayal, the frustration, how did your physical body react to it?
My physical body, I feel like it's everywhere, around all my body. It's looking through, it's crying. So I feel like almost going out of my body, everywhere to look for it.
Got it.
So like cells being stretching out well.
Got it. Got it. And apart from that feeling, is there a part of you that when you feel this frustration and all these emotions, is there another part of your body that's physically reacting to it? Like, is there a part of you that perhaps wants to like run or hide or freeze?
I feel like normally I did that, but right now I feel like it's more with my head, my right side of the head. I think it's trying to calculate, make sense out of it. Really trying to analyze and find a solution, computation, dissociation.
Got it. So it feels more like it is a numbness. Is it like a numbness, like a disconnect, dissociating? Got it. Perfect. Dissociating. Now with all these emotions that you're feeling, where in your body is the home for these emotions? Where do you feel them?
For some reason I have it in my right part of my body. So I have it in lower back, left shoulder, and so that like it goes along my left side of the body.
You're pointing right side, but you're saying left.
Right side.
Right side, got it. Okay, so right side of the body, and also right lower part of the body.
And my heart also.
Heart. Perfect. What else?
So head, neck, heart, back. upper the why do you say that? I don't know if I get it right. Right,
It's okay. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Got it. Is there any part of this that you feel outside of the body?
Yes.
Where do you feel it outside?
In my back, I feel like there's somebody. It's like somebody's on my back, on top of me or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Back?
Like I'm basically dragging somebody on my back.
Okay. Is that how you felt in the relationship?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doing great. That's perfect. Is it also okay, like during the session, if we disconnect you from this person?
Yes.
Excellent. So just make a note they disconnect. Just put SC for me as well. Disconnect /SC. So now we have all our information. Okay, I'm very happy with what we have here. Now remember, we work with pain. An extra part of the brain is now thrown into the equation. Which part is that? Yes. And thank you. Midbrain. Darina, do you feel ready? I want you to know that you are exactly where you need to be. This is perfect. So Darina, what I would like you to do that would really help me is for you just have an awareness of how you feel, and just that day when you hurt yourself, and the lack of support that you also had, after that. Stress with feeling happy, even though it's supposed to be a good feeling, it's not for you. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go quiet for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to connect with you. And Irina, when you're ready, you could take a nice deep breath and gently come back. What a journey! Huh? Ooh. How are you?
I feel light now. I also feel like I was very far away, so
It kind of felt like I was like, Irina! It's a joke. Very good. So you live in London now? Got it. So this is like, nice. So I'm curious, what was your process like? Like, what did you hear, feel, see, or sense? There were some interesting things that came up just randomly in the middle that we didn't even discuss, but I thought it cannot hurt her. If there's a part of her that doesn't want it, she will reject it. And that's okay. So the best thing that I can do is just throw it in there and say, hey, what about this? Okay.
it felt powerful, like very strong. Especially the parts where you did the acknowledgements. It spoke to me.
And did you notice the acknowledgements that I did? I was literally just looking at the emotions that you felt. There was nothing made up or special about it. She gave me the acknowledgements. It was just my job to be creative with it. Play with it. What are the opposites of these? Support, nurturing. There were negative associations with it. Okay, great. Well, let's remind you now that this is now done. It's over. And be playful with that. Did you have like any interesting memories coming up, or?
Yeah, I did have memories of my childhood with my mom. For example, when I would come back from there was one day when I came back from my dance training, and my mom was there cleaning the toilet, and she was all in tears, and she asked me, how are you? And I was all happy because that's something I want to do. And she's like, how can you? Why do I have to do it myself? And what kind of doctor you are? So the guilt stuff.
Right.
And I saw that toilet They will come in with such precision and some patterns of the tails and all that, everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Blast from the past.
Yeah.
Wow. So question, how do you feel now when you think back to that old problem?
Neutral.
Okay.
You mean the mom or the shoulder?
You tell me.
I feel neutral about mom. It's like a story.
Good. Got it. And also the day of the injury?
Also neutral.
And how does your physical body feel?
I feel like it's recalibrated. Something's
You're buzzing, yeah, it's good,
Yeah.
yeah. And how does your shoulder, how does your arm feel?
I don't feel it right now. Like I don't feel pain right now.
Very good. You're looking for it.
I'm looking for it. It's not there.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give her an applause.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling it because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Ivettt Rouz, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!